Yo, what is up guys? I'm here hitting you up with a new video. So first of all, thank you guys for the love and support on yesterday's video. It was really huge. I didn't expect that so many people were really interested to see that kind of content. I feel like sometimes when I make videos, I'm thinking 5 steps ahead and feel like, okay, specific things might be too obvious, but it seems like you guys are really interested in that kind of stuff. So in case you guys want to support me, I'm actually partnered with Netmarbl's content creator partner program. I do not monetize my videos, so I appreciate your support in the partner creator mode. All you gotta do is click on the 3 bars, sign in. Once you sign in, you click on my page. When you're at the my page, you click on the supporter, then click on link game account, press link account, use the login method which you use for your account. Once done, you click down here on connect with a creator, solo leveling arise. You come here to this tab, search my name up, MaTeIRiA, press the search and then press on support, hit the check mark and press yes. Thanks guys in advance who actively wants to support me. Let's start the video. So since we talked about early progression yesterday, I wanted to let you know how we can get legendary artifacts early on in the game with the progression we made in the first 4 or 5 days of the game. So as you can see, tier 5 is cleared with 2 stars, and the only thing that is left to do is beat it within 85 seconds. And it's actually also kind of important to clear, or it's not really too important, but it makes your life very easy. Once you have 3 stars, you get additional buffs when for your daily dungeon grinds. For example, with Cerberus and Arachnid, you get a damage boost of 50% and you take 50% less damage. So I think also I'm curious about you guys. When I play the game, I use a controller, just in case if you're wondering what kind of device I'm using. So I'm playing on PC with a controller. Let me know in the comments down below actually if you're playing with a controller, if you play with mouse and keyboard, or if you're playing with your phone, because that actually makes a huge difference in how difficult or manageable a dungeon gets. So I kind of want to combine 2 things in this video. So first of all, showing you how to farm like the tier 5 dungeon to get your legendary artifacts early on, to make progress with your characters, to make them stronger, as well as how do you kind of want to incorporate team building with that. So based on yesterday's video, I will use in both dungeons, in the Cerberus and the Arachnid dungeon, I will use Char, because I believe 99% of you people will have Char, so we start off basically with Char. Then very important, especially for Cerberus, you want to use Seal. Seal is so important for this one, to make sure you're clearing Cerberus, because he's by far the hardest dungeon. And then for your third option, it really depends on what you have. If you have Min, use Min, because he provides you certain buffs. But it also depends on your roster, what you have. You can also use Nam, you could use Jinho or Kim Chul, depending on what you have. You can also use Bike if you have him. But you know, we have limited gold in this game, so you have to use what you got, right? So that's why we're using this team. Also to show you that when we're doing now tier 5, you are able to clear tier 5 with mediocre artifacts and equipment. As you can see here, nothing is out of the ordinary. I recommend you having a full set of the Destroyer set on Minbing. You can also check that one out on my channel. I have basically for all these characters here, I have guides on my channel, 3-minute guides if you're interested in watching those ones. But as you can see, nothing too crazy, nothing really too high. The highest one is here, what, at like plus 14, and here's like a gray piece, not even full set sometimes, right? So I try to walk you through on how you want to approach, for example, Cerberus here. I'm very bad with multitasking, so I excuse myself in advance. So first of all, you try to run, and you want to try to get the perfect dodge in, because then you can QT immediately. And for Minbing, you want to use his, not his ultimate skill, but his Heavenly Blessing to boost the damage output. And once you use that skill, while you are in the skill animation, you want to press the QTE skill immediately, because you can cancel out of the animation in this specific fight, no, not in the specific fight, but in general. and switch already to the next character, so you don't have to wait and look for the whole thing before you can QTE. You can switch while Min is still casting his debuff on Cerberus, for example. Then we switch now to Cha. So we used Seal to break the boss's bar. Use this. Now here's the thing, now we have to wait because he is damage resistant. He has like invincibility frame. Now we can use again. And now when we press this skill, we want to switch to Min immediately, or to whatever character you're using, right? Because her skill animation takes long and you don't want to be locked into that animation. And once you debuffed him, you want to go back to Seal. And here is important, when you have that red flash coming up, you need to dodge it, because if he hits you with skills which have a red flash, he will one-shot your characters. So make sure to 100% dodge this one. Like here, for example, he has tracking, so you want to make sure to get out of his range, switch characters, use the dance, for example, here, use the ult with Cha, use the core attack, use the Sword of Light, switch immediately to Min, debuff him again, dodge. Now we can QTE back to Sio, use her skills, use her ult, dodge again to be sure, and there we go. This is how we kill Cerberus. So giving you a rough understanding on how to approach this fight if you are struggling or you don't know his pattern, but you really need to make sure sometimes to dodge his attacks. And also when you see that red flash, really make sure also that he's not in a corner, that he's like in the middle of the map, because when he's in a corner and he's doing that flamethrower attack from Charizard, you cannot run around him and he's tracking you. So if you don't have space to move around him, he will hit you with that attack, and that attack will kill you no matter what. So now for the Spider, we used the same setup, the same team, because that's what we have, right? But here I made just a slight adjustment, and we are using now Cha on the second slot and Sio on the third slot. That's because the Spider has the ability to recover his health at a certain point in time. And we want to make sure that we land the heal block debuff on the Spider before he goes back into healing mode, because then he cannot recover his HP. And Cha's debuff actually lasts for 30 seconds, which is a very long time. So that's why we start off with Cha and then switch to Sio. So we start running off to the side here. We use the debuff again, just pressing a couple of skills. And as soon as we can switch QTE, we switch to Cha. We use the Dancer, spam the Dancer, use the standard attack, the core attack, then we use the Sword of Light, because now we land the heal block, and it's perfect time, you see. That's why we use her on the second slot. As you can see, the Spider's already going up, but it is now because we use the Sword of Light skill with Cha, he's not able to recover his health back. So we're running around, do not attack the Spiders, there's no reason, just run around, because they will explode, and then we start attacking the Spider with Sio, and we try to break him. So now that we see the heal block, the heal debuff is almost running out, we do want to make sure to switch as fast as we can to Cha, and we also want to use that one like her Sword of Light immediately, not using her rotation, because in that sense, okay, that was like super fast, but because sometimes you never know when the Spider is going to go back into healing mode. So that's why we wanted to make sure this time around that we use the Sword of Light again, so he has still the heal block up, so we can kill the boss in time, or you're not running out of time, or whatever, how you want to call it. So last part, when it comes to higher tier difficulties, my recommendation, before you go into the next tier, make sure you are not in the red CP, because you are getting a lot of debuffs being in the red CP ranking if you're not in the recommended CP range. When you're in red CP, your crit rate will drop down to 10% crit rate, as well as you dealing less damage, and the damage you take is increased as well, so it will be a lot harder to kill these bosses. And especially when you notice like, oh, you're struggling a lot, you cannot beat the next tier, for example, go back a tier below and wait till you are out of the red range. As soon as you're out of the red range, then you can go back and try again. So that's it for today's videos, guys. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Deuces.